Single replacement reaction. A single replacement reaction, also called single displacement, is a reaction in which one element replaces a similar element in a compound. The general form of the reaction is A plus BC. Yield AC plus B. Types of single replacement reaction. 1. Metal replacement. A metal that is being replaced. Example, Mg, S plus Cu, NO3, 2, Aq. Yield Mg, NO3, 2, Aq plus Cu, S. Magnesium is a more reactive metal than copper. When a strip of magnesium metal is placed in an aqueous solution of copper, 2, nitrate, it replaces the copper. The products of the reaction are aqueous magnesium nitrate and solid copper metal. 2. Hydrogen replacement. The hydrogen is replaced by an active metal. A. Metals react with acids and one of the products of the reaction is hydrogen gas. Example, Zn, S, plus 2HCl, Aq. Yield ZnCl2, Aq plus H2, G. Zinc reacts with hydrochloric acid to produce aqueous zinc chloride and hydrogen. B. Metals replacing the hydrogen in water. The products of such a reaction are the metal hydroxide and hydrogen gas. All group 1 metals undergo this type of reaction. Example, 2Na, S, plus 2H2O, L. Yield 2NaO, Aq, plus H2, G. Sodium reacts vigorously with water to produce aqueous sodium hydroxide and hydrogen. A large piece of sodium will often generate so much heat that the hydrogen will ignite. 3. Halogen replacement. The reactivity of the halogen group, group 17, decreases from top to bottom within the group. Fluorine is the most reactive halogen, while iodine is the least. Example, Cl2, G, plus 2 Na branch, Aq, yield 2 NaCl, Aq, plus Br2, L. Since chlorine is above bromine, it is more reactive than bromine and can replace it in a halogen replacement reaction. The element chlorine reacts with an aqueous solution of sodium bromide to produce aqueous sodium chloride and elemental bromine. Determining the products of single replacement reactions. Elements that are likely to form cations, usually metals or hydrogen gas, will replace the cation in a compound, and elements that are likely to form anions, usually group 17 halogens, will replace anions in a compound. A higher ranked element in the activity series is more reactive. The reactivity series, also called the activity series, ranks elements in order of their reactivity. To predict a single replacement reaction will occur, when a less reactive element can be replaced by a more reactive element in a compound. There are separate rankings for elements that form cations and elements that form anions. For elements that tend to gain electrons to form anions, the order of reactivity from most reactive to least reactive goes as follows: most reactive is F2, then Cl2, Br2, and I2, is the least reactive. For the cation-forming elements, use the following. Some properties that are taken into account in the reactivity series include reactivity with water and acids, as well as how readily an element loses electrons to form cations. Practical applications of single replacement reaction. Thermite welding. A mixture of Al and Fe2O3 reacts to produce molten iron that is used to join railway rails together. 2 Al plus Fe2O3 yield Al2O3 plus 2 Fe. Al replaces Fe in Fe2O3 to form Al2O3. Steel making. Can extract iron from its ore, Fe2O3, by heating it with carbon in giant blast furnaces. 3C plus 2 Fe2O3 yield 4 Fe plus 3 CO2. C replaces Fe in Fe2O3 to form CO2. Let's try to answer the following. 1. Representation of 4 basic chemical reactions types are synthesis, decomposition, single replacement, and double replacement. Which of the following define a single replacement reaction? D. An element reacts with a compound and produces a new compound if the single element is higher in reactivity. 2. The general form of a single replacement reaction is A plus BC, yield AC plus B. In this general reaction, element A is a metal and replaces element B, also a metal, in the compound. What do we look at to determine if an element is strong enough to replace another element in the reaction? B. Activity series. 3. A single replacement reaction is a reaction in which one element replaces a similar element in a compound. Given the following information, for the reaction between Al and Fe2O3, what is the correct final reaction? Al plus Fe2O3, yield blank plus blank. Ions of Al and O are Al3 plus O2. B. 2Al plus Fe2O3, yield Al2O3 plus 2Fe. 4. What are the products of the following unbalanced reaction? NaF plus Cl2, yield, blank. D. No reaction. 5. Which of the following is an application of single replacement reaction? D. All of the above.